Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna. Welcome to all the devotees to our weekly Bhakti Vaibhav class. So, in last Sunday and before that, we have been discussing about the wonderful activities, the wonderful care that Prthu Maharaj was showing to his citizens. He humbly requesting all of them to practice bhakti, if not for their sake, but at least for the sake of the king. Otherwise, if they don't practice bhakti, king says, I don't have any hope of perfection. At least for my perfection, kindly practice bhakti. Like that, you are saying. And hearing his wonderful words, all the citizens headed by the great sages and devatas and pitrus and all, they were so happy, so happy. They said, till now we were not sure, especially during the reign of your father, who was not even allowing us to perform any yajna and worship of Lord and chant Vedic mantras and all. But now you yourself are humbly requesting all of us to do. That means today we have attained liberation because we have our leader, a perfect devotee. Just by you just by having you as our Lord and Master and Nata, we have already attained liberation. There is no doubt about it. Like that, they expressed gratitude. Then suddenly from the sky, the 4 stars are coming down. As they come close, they recognize that these 4 stars are 4 Kumaras. They welcomed them humbly, offered seats. And then Prthu Maharaj inquired from them, see, you 4 are already liberated, self-effulgent, always experiencing the transcendental happiness. But what about us? We are so much attached to material enjoyment and suffering, continuously going through suffering, life after life in this material world. Please, how we can be delivered from this material existence? Tadam tadaham kruta vishrambha suhrudo vastapasvinam sampruche bhava etasmin shema kenanjasa bhavet. So Pruthu is asking that I'm asking this one question. How the conditioned souls who are bound by Bhava Roga, the repeated cycle of birth and death, can attain Shema Anjasa easily. Shema Anjasa Bhavet. So Kshema Kena Anjasa Bhavet. How all of us who are conditioned souls who are attached to material enjoyment can attain the real auspiciousness, the real perfection, the entry into Vaikuntha. How? By what means we can attain that? Please tell that. That is what the request by Pruthu. So hearing that request, the 4 Kumaras are actually expressing their happiness. Actually, we always look for such kind of assembly where people are eager to hear about Atma Jnana, hear about Supreme Lord. Such kind of association is beneficial for 3 kinds of people: the inquirer, the speaker, and the hearer. And thus we have come here. Please listen. So like that, first they spoke about Jnana Mishra Bhakti, having the predominance of Bhakti culminating in Shantarasa. So was explained starting from verse number 22. From 22 to 36, they have explained Bhakti mixed with Jnana because 4 Kumaras himself have the temperament of Jnana. So those devotees who have the similar kind of temperament of Jnana, basically, what is this material world, what is the spiritual world, what is the relationship between both, and how to conduct ourselves by living in this material world in order to come back to Godhead. So that's kind of information they gave in the beginning from 22 to 36. So in that they explained about different aspects of bhakti mixed with karma, jnana, yoga, all those things. And now text number 37 and 38 they will summarize Bhakti Mishra Jnana with a predominance of Jnana with the goal of Sahajya Mukti. Now in 2 verses they are going to talk about. Now they are going to talk about the traditional Jnana Yoga. Jnana Yoga, Jnana mixed with little Bhakti. So that is traditionally being followed by those people who aspire to attain Sahajya Mukti. That he will summarize in 2 verses. Okay. And then the next 2 verses, finally Sanat Kumara will speak pure Bhakti, by which one achieves Krishna Prema or Vishnu Prema, in which liberation is a secondary effect into verses 39 and 40. So basically, the last 2 verses he speaks about pure devotional service. First, he spoke about Mishra Bhakti, then he spoke about Jnana Yoga. Now we will then later on we will speak about pure Bhakti. That's how they conclude their teachings. So today, last week we have already seen Jnana Mishra Bhakti, the different aspects of Bhakti mixed with little bit Jnana, Karma and other things and all. And today now we'll try to see Jnana Yoga, Adhyatma Jnana Yoga. Text number 37. Tattvam Narendra Jagatam Matatastutam cha
Tattam Narendra Jagatam Arthatasthu Samcha
Indriya Sudishanatma Birava Avrutanam
Dehendriyasu Dhisanatambhir Abratanam
Yakshetra Vittapataya Hrudi Vishwagavi
Yakhetra Vittapataya Hrid Bisava Abhi
Pratyakshakasti Bhagavanstamabhi Sosmi.
Pratyakshakasti Bhagavanstam Avehi Swasmi. Translation. Sanat Kumara advised the king, therefore, my dear King Prthu, try to understand the Supreme Personality of Godhead who is living within everyone's heart along with the individual soul in each and everybody, either moving or not moving. The individual souls are fully covered by the gross material body and subtle body made up the life air and intelligence.
O King, O Narendra, therefore, for attaining liberation, know the Paramatma, who shines in the hearts of all moving and non-moving entities, covered by body, senses, life force, intelligence, and false ego, and who appears everywhere as the controller of the Jiva, Kshetravit, one should meditate on, I am he. So, in order to attain Sahajya Mukti, the means is try to see Paramatma in everything, in everywhere, who resides in the heart of each and every living entity. Covered by their body, made up of Panchamaha Bhutas, Jnanendriyas, Karmendriyas, like 10 pranas, intelligence, man, buddhi, ahankara, chetana, etc. All these elements are covering the soul in the form of the body. And understand that the Paramatma is situated in the body of each and every living entity because he is the controller of the body of each and every living entity. Ruddeshe Arjuna Tishtati. Smritirjnanam apohanam cha. Ishvara sarvabhutanam ruddeshe Arjuna Tishtati Brahmayam sarvabhutani yantarurani mahya. So one who understands that Paramatma, who is situated in the heart of each and every living entity, understanding that one should meditate that I am he, I am the same Paramatma. Qualitatively, I am same as the same Paramatma. Like that, one should meditate because they want to attain Sahajya Mukti. For Sahajya Muktas, the process of meditation is like this. I am of the same nature, same quality of that Paramatma. So what am I doing here? Instead of instead of supposed to be with Paramatma. Like that, one should be contemplating. This exclusive liberation without the qualities of bhakti is achieved by perfecting impersonal Brahmajna. Basically, in this particular process, the element of bhakti may be there, but it is very minute and hidden. It is not so obvious because their primary aspiration is to enter into Sahajya, where there is no direct service to Supreme Lord. Because in the goal, there is no service. So why they would aspire to do service in the sadhana? So that's why their explanation is all about how to contemplate, meditate upon or Paramatma and attain Brahma Savitya. Therefore, know the Paramatma who is revealed or who shines in the hearts of the moving and non-moving beings, covered by body, senses, life airs, intelligence, and false ego. So, if at all one want to attain Sahajya Mukti, one need to practice Brahmajnana. If at all one want to attain Brahmajnana, then understand that the same Parabrahma is residing in the heart of every living entity as Paramatma. So, this is the method of Jnana Yoga. So what kind of meditation after understanding the Parabrahman is situated in the heart of every living entity Paramatma, then how they should meditate? I am he, so asmi. Just as the ray of the sun is also the sun in one sense. So I, a pure ray of Paramatma, I am also the Paramatma. I am not material. So the example is given is that there is sun in the sky and sun rays are coming from the sky, from the sun. So is there any difference between the sun and sun rays? From one sense, one may say, yes, yes, sun is different, sun rays are different. But in other sense, whatever the qualities of sun are the same in the sun ray also. Sun ray also has the same quality of heat and light. Sun also has the same quality of heat and light. So one may say that sun is giving more light, sun ray is giving less light, but nature of the light is same only. It is not that sun is giving one kind of light and sun ray is giving other kind of light. No, both are giving same. So in that way, they are same. Like that one should understand. And finally, I am not the material body. I am neither the gross body nor subtle body. That should be the understanding. Another version is so asti. He exists alone and nothing else. Brahma Satyam Jagan Mithya. Not exact like that, but he exists in reality. He is everything. But the Jiva also revealed in the heart. The Lord is then differentiated. No, ऐसे बोल सकते आप. So asmi, I am he. But Shastra talks about Paramatma is there in the heart and Jivatma is also there in the heart. दोनों है. आप परमात्मा के बारे में क्यों बोल रहे सब हमेशा? Like that, if one asks, he is revealed everywhere and acts as the controller of the jiva as antaryami. Yeah, you may see jivatma in your heart, but you can't see the same jivatma in the heart of somebody else. It is the Paramatma which is seen in the heart of each and every living entity. It is the Paramatma who exists as the all-pervading entity, not the jivatma. So like that. How does he manifest or shines? How does he manifest as all-forwarding super soul? He shines in reverse. How? Previously, the example is given. The sun and sun ray. The sun and sun rays are situated outside of us. And Jivatma and Paramatma situated inside of us. He shines inwardly into the Jiva, unlike the sun which shines outwardly with its rays. Paramatma and Jivatma are situated within the heart. Sun and sun rays are situated outside of us. Kshetrajñam chapi mam viddhi sarvakshetreshu bharata. Kshetrajñayor jnanam yattad jnanam matam mama. To understand that, my dear Arjuna, I am also situated as a kshetrajña, but I am situated in the body of every living entity. I am everywhere. Sarvakshetreshu bharata. One who understands kshetra, kshetrajñayor. Kshetra, jiva kshetrajña and paramatma kshetrajña. One who understands clearly these three things. The material body to individual soul and super soul. And they are the true knowers of jnana. They are the true learned people. This is my opinion. Like that Lord Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita. The same way here, understand the Kshetrajna, Jivatma and Paramatma, and meditate on that Paramatma saying that I am the same Paramatma. I am of the same quality as that of the Paramatma. That should be the meditation while practicing sadhana. If one continues that meditation, eventually one lands up in Brahma Sayujya. That will be explained in the next verse. This verse rejects the idea that the Lord becomes contaminated by being present in the hearts of all living entities. So then one may say that no, Jivatma comes into this material world, is situated in the heart, gets bound by the material desires. If you are saying Paramatma is also situated in the hearts of all living entities, Paramatma also can get contaminated. No, that is not possible. Atma is beyond contamination. He cannot be. So like that is being indicated. Yasmin idam sadasad atmataya vibhati.
Yasmin idam sadasat atmataya vibhati.
Maya viveka vidutis srajivahi buddhihi.
Maya viveka viduti srajivahi buddhihi.
Tam nityamukta parishuddha vishuddha sattvam.
Tanmittam nityamukta parishuddha vishuddha sattvam.
Pratyuda karma kalila prakritim prapadhe.
Pratyuda karma kalila prakritim prapadye. The Supreme Personality of Godhead manifests himself as one with the cause and effect within this body, but one who has transcended the illusory energy by deliberate consideration, which clears the misconception of a snake or for a rope, can understand that the Paramatma is eternally transcendental to the material creation and situated in pure internal energy. Thus, the Lord is transcendental to all material contamination. Unto him only must one surrender.
Yeah, different attributes of Paramatma are stated here. I surrender to the Paramatma who defeats material energy contaminated by karma. So basically, Maya can never touch Paramatma. Maya is always under the control of Paramatma. Because of which Paramatma is ever liberated. Because he never comes under the control of Maya, then he is never bound, he is always liberated. He is completely pure because he is not touched by Maya. He is the highest truth, Vishuddhatam, Parantatvam, and within whom Maya manifests this universe as a cause and effect. It is from Paramatma comes Maya. It is by the glance of Paramatma Maya produces this material creation. And within whom Maya manifests this universe as cause and effect, superior and inferior, but which can be dissolved by discrimination. Only by this proper understanding of who is Paramatma, who is Jivatma, who is Maya, one can dissolve one's material existence. Some claim the world is an illusion, like thinking a garland is a snake, and that this illusion is dissipated by knowledge of oneness. Srajiva ahibuddhihi, knowledge of oneness. So some jnani say that this material world is illusion. So it is like thinking the garland as a snake, just like in the darkness, it is actually a garland. So this kind of experience is illusion. Same way, the material world thinking this material world to be real is actually illusion. Because material world, we think that material is existing. Just like the snake is existing. Just like the existence of snake is illusory, the existence of the material world is also illusory. But there is something called as garland is existing. Some same way, some kind of material world is also existing. Maybe temporary, maybe or something, this, that, whatever it is. Just like the garland is existing, the material world is also existing. So that will be explained now. In Paramatma, Maya lights up this universe, situated with high and low forms, effect and cause. The cause of the universe is Maya. The universe is disturbed by discernment with Viveka Buddhi. So basically, it is by the glance of Paramatma, Maya creates, maintains, and annihilates this universe time and again. But for an individual Jiva, the material world does not exist when it comes to Viveka Buddhi. When the Jiva attains the discriminating intelligence, what is the gross body, what is the subtle body, who is Jivatma, who is Paramatma, what is this material world? When he has this discrimination understanding properly, then the material world does not exist for such a Jivatma. He becomes Jiva Mukta. This discernment gives realization of non-difference. The universe arises from Maya, and being Maya, it is thus the externality of the Paramatma. The Jiva is the Tatastha energy of the Paramatma. The energies and the possessor of the energies, Paramatma, are non-different. That the universe, Jiva and Paramatma are non-different, but not illusory. So in one sense, that Ekatma Vidya, everything is one. How? Because the Lord and Lord's energies are one. Lord's energies are only manifesting as Bhairanga Shakti, Tatastha Shakti. Bhairanga Shakti as material universe, Tatastha Shakti as different living entities. Since they are Lord's energies, they are one with the Supreme Lord. Something like that. The difference is compared to thinking that a garland is snake. So if one says that, oh, Jivatma is different, material world is different, it is like thinking garland to be a snake. The word va indicates that undifferentiated realization which claims that all differences is illusory is the opponent's view, that of the Vivartavadis. So there is some concept of Vivartavada and Paranamavada which will be explained later in the Bhagavatam. We will not get into details. But for now, the understanding is that so there is a garland. But if we touch it and we say that it is not garland, it is snake, that is because of imperfect knowledge. Same way, because of imperfect knowledge, one will say that the material world is separate, Lord is separate. So like that, the Jnana Yoga process says. In one sense, qualitatively, both of them are one. Because the material world is manifestation of Parabrahman. It is same as Parabrahman. Sarvam Kalau Idam Brahma. Everything is manifestation of Brahman. Thus everything is also considered to be Brahman because everything belongs to Brahman. So in that way. Otherwise, some people, the word va indicates that the undifferentiated realization which claims that all differences is illusion is the opponent's view, that of the Vivartavadi. Of course, there is a difference. So, I mean, when we say they are all one means, it is not that they are all only one. There is a variety, there is a distinction. There is spiritual world, supreme Lord, material world, Jivatmas, all these distinctions are there. But they are all belong to one person, that's why they are said to be one. But if somebody says the differentiation is illusory, that is the concept of Vivartavada. Because Brahman does not change. So anything other than Brahman is existing, that is all illusion. That is the understanding of Vivartavadis. But according to Parinamavada, which is the true Jnana Yoga, the Brahman does not change. Brahman energies remain as they are and also produce newer elements. That Maya, Mahamaya, she remains at the same time, she also produces 24 elements. By their combination produces unlimited universes, and by their combination produces unlimited living entities, unlimited lokas, everything is happening. At the same time, Maya also exists. This is called Parinamavada. In spite of transformation, still Maya. So this is the true Jnana Yoga Siddhanta. Thus the Lord is ever liberated because he is completely pure. Because he is truth, the Lord is completely pure and is Vishuddhatva, that is ever liberated. He defeats Prakriti, contaminated by karma. So basically, Prakriti, Maya cannot touch the Lord. Maya is always under the control of Supreme. I surrender to that Lord. Without bhakti to Paramatma in the form of surrender, liberation is not possible. That means eventually Jnana Yogi also had to surrender to Paramatma. Without that surrender, there is no possibility of liberation. That the concept of surrender is bhakti, Sharanagati. Sharanagati is bhakti. That means even a Jnana Yogi without bhakti, without surrender, without Sharanagati, cannot attain liberation. What was that? Brahmabhuta prasanmatma na sochati na kanshiti samat sarveshu bhuteshu madbhakti labate param. Bhaktya mam abhijanati yavanyas chasmi tatvatah ato mam tatvato jnatva vishite tadantaram. It is only by bhakti one understands me in truth. Thus, understanding me as Parabrahman one attains Sahyajya Mukti. Tato mam tatvato jnatva. Tato mam, tat means Parabrahman. Understanding me as Parabrahman tatvataha Vishita Tantraman enters into Brahma Jyoti. So like that. The secondary role of bhakti as an anga of jnana is explained thus. The surrender. So in Bhakti Mishra Jnana, bhakti is there. How? Surrender. It is by bhakti, it is by surrender. A jnana yogi having attained Sahyajya Mukta, having attained Jivan Mukta platform, eventually attains Sahyajya. That is the understanding. So the element of bhakti has been indicated in this. But however, hearing the word Soham, Sasti, so many about Parabrahman, Paramatma, all these things. Prthu was a little bit not happy. Why I am hearing all these things? Of course, though I have asked about Atma and Paramatma, but I don't want to hear so much about them. I want to hear about the Supreme Lord, Bhakti, etc. Now, understanding the heart of Prthu Maharaj, now in the next two verses, four Kumaras are going to talk about pure Bhakti. Prthu's distaste of the word, understanding King Prthu's distaste of the words, know that I am he, mentioned in verse number 37. Since he had pure bhakti in the mood of a servant and nothing else, Sanat Kumara now speaks of pure bhakti, Kevala bhakti, by which one achieves prema, in which liberation is the second effect. He glorifies that Kevala bhakti as the best process in two verses. Now, for the pleasure of Prthu, Kumaras are going to conclude by talking about pure bhakti. So these are two important verses which are there for your exam also, 13 and 40, please. Yat pada pankaj palasha vilasa bhaktya
यद पाद पंकज पलास बिलास भक्त्या
karmashayam gratitamudgratayanti santa
कर्माशयं ग्रथितम् उद्गृह्यन्ति सन्तः
tadvarnariktamatayo yatayopi ruddha
तद्वन्नरिक्तमतयो यतयो अपिरोध्य
Shroto ganastamaranam bhajavasudevam.
Sroto ganatam aranam bhaj vasudevam. The devotee who are always engaged in the service of the toes of the lotus feet of Lord can very easily overcome hard-knotted desire for fruitive activities. Because this is very difficult, the non-devotee, the jnanis and yogis, although trying to stop the waves of sense gratification, cannot do so. Therefore, you are advised to engage in the devotional service of Krishna, the son of Vasudeva. Hare Krishna.
So now in this verse, he's going to talk about pure bhakti. Worship Lord Vasudeva, tam maranam bhajavasudevam, with the shelter of each and every living entity, with the ultimate shelter, samam bonam, ashraya tattva. The previous two verses talked about worship of Brahman, Paramatma, so much. Now worship Lord Vasudeva. By devotion to his lotus feet, his lotus toes, etpada pankaja palasha bhaktya, possessing ever increasing beauty, vilasa. The devotees untie the knot of false ego filled with impressions of karma. Karmashayam gratitam udgratayanti, which the foolish sannyasis tadvanna riktamatayo, who try to stop the senses flowing like a river, cannot untie. Yeah, though I have talked about Jnana Yoga, this, that, so much things. So the yatis trying to follow Jnana Yoga and Ashtanga Yoga try to attain liberation. But whatever it is, without bhakti, they cannot attain liberation. Even to attain liberation, one need to practice bhakti. But if one practices bhakti alone, one attains Krishna prema. Even though they may try to untie the knots within their core of the hearts, but they have to work hard for many lifetimes. But a bhakta no need to work hard to untie the knots in the heart of in their heart. Instead, if they simply surrender to Supreme Lord, Lord will untie the knots. Lord will take the responsibility of untying the knots of karmashayam, udgratayanti santa. For santas, he will untie. Otherwise, yatis, they have to try on their own to untie the karma granthi. So that's why In this verse, there is a comparison between Yatayo and Santaha. Santaha are devotees, Yatis are Jnana Yogis and Ashtanga Yogis. Jnana Yogis and Ashtanga Yogis have to work very hard to cut the knot to this material existence. But devotees don't have to do that. They just have to serve the Lord, and Lord will cut that. Lord will take care of that. So like that, they are saying. So when Lord cuts it when the devotees reach to Bhava Bhakti. So we need to work hard until the time we reach Baba, and after Baba onwards, Lord will take care of us. So that is the understanding. Palasha refers to the large toes in this verse. Vilasa means distinctive sport or movement with distinction. Visheshena lasa. In other words, the beauty of the toenails of the Lord, which are like the lotus petals, is increasing at every moment. That the phrase means by bhakti to the Lord's toes, whose beauty is increasing at every moment. If the beauty of the Lord's toes is increasing every moment, then what to speak of his whole transcendental body? That is also constantly increasing. So unto such Lord who is ever increasing in his beauty, one should surrender. That is understanding. Bhakti has two forms, sadhana bhakti and sadhya bhakti. So the sadhya form is mentioned here because the final destruction of the knot of ignorance actually takes place in Bhava Bhakti, not by sadhana bhakti, though sadhana bhakti leads to Bhava Bhakti. Of course, there is anartha nivrutti, slowly it happens, but complete anartha nivrutti will take place only in Bhava platform. Until Bhava platform, still there is a possibility of some anarthas. The classic example is Bharat Maharaj. Even though he had come to Bhava platform, even though he had taken to Vanaprastha order and exclusively serving the Lord, but still the compassion in the form of contamination has arrived him and made him to take 2 more births. So in that way, until Bhava platform, there is a possibility of some traces of material affinity. But when one enters into full Bhava platform, the Lord removes all the contaminations, all the likings toward the material existence, and then one enters into prema. So like that. Karmashaya means ahankara filled with impressions of karma. So subtle body, man, buddhi, ahankara, chetana filled with so many subtle desires. This is tightly knotted. Gratitam, avidya, hudaya granthi. Gratitam hudaya granthi means it is a tight knot within the core of the heart. Attraction to this material existence is tightly knotted within the core of our heart. To cut that is very difficult. To cut it on our own is very difficult. Therefore, Kumara settled that take shelter of Lord Vasudeva. By bhakti to the Lord's toes, endowed with various astonishing skills, such as massaging, putting perfumes on his body, bathing him, and dressing him. So, what do you mean by bhakti unto the toenails of the Supreme Lord? That means performing all the personal service to Supreme Lord's deity, such as massaging him, bathing him, putting the perfumes on his body, bathing him and dressing him, and decorating him, feeding him, performing artika to him, like that, all these things. That is bhakti. Or it can mean by remembrance of the beauty of the Lord's toes, or smaranam. Either you do personal service or you do mental service in the mind by remembering. But however, either personally or mentally, please worship Lord Vasudeva, who is the ultimate shelter. The Vaishnavas untie the knot of Hankara filled with impressions of karma and filled with impressions of karma tied tightly by the Jiva's previous actions. By now performing actions to the Lord, which have the opposite effect, by the Prasa Bhakti, progressing from sadhana to sadhya, which is offered to his lotus petal toes, which are beauty increases every moment. That means the devotees don't not in the heart. Instead, they should work hard to serve the Lord. If they are engaged in serving the Lord, Lord will cut their ties to the material world. This is the understanding. This cannot do the same. Yati is the performers of Jnana Yoga, Ashtanga Yoga. It is very difficult for them to untie the knot of the heart. Why? their minds are without objects of thought. Riktamadaya, because they have to meditate upon Nirguna Brahma. They are without intelligence. So in their minds are without objects of thought because they need to meditate upon Nirvishesha, Nirguna, Nirakara Brahman. So that is very tough. Just like in Bhagavad Gita 12th chapter also Lord Krishna says, Kleshu adhikarakta tesham avyakta asakta chesasam avyakta hi gatir duktam dehavadbir avapyate. For those people who are inhabited within the body, it is very difficult for them to think about Nirakara Brahman. So, like that. Santaha, commendable persons or devotees, on the other hand, have their minds concentrated on the Lord. They have good intelligence. The ascetics have attempted to stop the group of senses which flow like rivers. Shroto Ganan. The senses are always running here and there to sense objects. Their mind is meditating on Nirakara Brahma, senses are running after sense objects. But in the case of devotee, the senses can be running towards the qualities of Supreme Lord. They can see the beauty form of the Lord. They can smell the fragrance of the tulsi kept on the Lord's lotus feet. They can touch Lord's transcendental body. They can taste Lord's Mahaprasad. So like that. But just as it is impossible to stop the river, this attempt to stop is a sign of their foolishness. On the other hand, the Shantas enjoy their eyes and other senses, the sweetness of the Lord's beauty and other qualities. So basically, the senses always want to do something. But if you want to stop them completely, outrightly, by meditating on Nirguna Brahma is very difficult. But to engage them in the service of Supreme Lord, it is easy. Like that, they are saying that it is easy compared to Jnana Yoga, Ashtanga Yoga. They are very intelligent and very happy. Aranam means shelter, because they have taken shelter of Supreme Lord. Therefore, worship the son of Vasudeva. Tam Aranam Bhajavasudevam. The Lord Krishna. Aranam can also means without battle. Aranam. If you do not surrender to Lord Vasudeva, then you will have to battle the senses and you will be defeated. Those who surrender to Supreme Lord, they don't have to.
हरे कृष्णा प्रभु जी, आपका वॉइस बहुत ही कम आ रहा है.
Hare Krishna, now you are able to hear me? Okay. Internet issue, some internet problem is there. It will again come back. Yeah. So basically, the devotees who surrender to Lord completely at the stage of Bhava, the cutting the knot is very easy. But till then, one need to work hard. It is not that okay, just I became devotee and all my knots are cut. No. अभी लगता है हमारा अंदर इतना ज्यादा नॉट्स है, इतना अट्रैक्शन है, बाकी लोगों में भी उतना नहीं, ऐसा लगता है. But only at the stage of Bhava, when it comes to Bhava platform, the knot is completely destroyed. Till then, whatever we may be trying hard, but knot will be there. So like that. So in this way, in 2 verses they spoke about Jnana Yoga. Now in 2 verses they are speaking about Bhakti Yoga. So in the first verse they spoke about, therefore at all cases, worship Lord Vasudeva, whose service can untie the knot in the core of the heart. Otherwise the yatis are trying very hard to very difficult. So that comparison they have. Because they themselves are yatis, they know who else know better than them. So they themselves are telling this. Now, 4 Kumaras last verse. Krishro Mahaniha Bhava Navamaplavesham.
Kuchu Mahan Iha Bhavarnava Aplavesam.
Shadvargana Sukena Titirsitanti.
Shadvarganakram Asukena Tirti Santi.
Tatvam Harer Bhagavato Bhajaniya Mangrim.
Tattvam Harer Bhagavato Bhajaniya Angrim.
Dupam Vyasanamottara Dustaranam.
कृत्वोडुपं व्यसनम् उतर दुस्तराणाम्. Translation. The ocean of nations is very difficult to cross because it is infested with many dangerous sharks. Although those who are non-devotee undergo severe austerities and penance to cross that ocean, recommended that you simply take shelter of lotus feet of the Lord, which is like boats for crossing the ocean. Although the ocean is difficult to cross, by taking shelter of his lotus feet, you will overcome all dangers.
There is great suffering for people lacking a boat to cross the ocean of samsara, filled with the crocodiles of the six senses, since they desire to cross but cannot, using a difficult process. So what the atheists do? How the atheists want to go beyond this material world? How the Jnana Yogis and Ashtanga Yogis on their own, by their own effort, like swimming across. Because they don't have a suitable boat which can take them across the material ocean, and they're trying to swim across, it is very tough process. Because what is the problem in swimming? That the ocean is filled with Shadvarga Naktra, the crocodiles of six senses, the crocodiles of the six anarthas, like there are so many. They are filled. In order to fight with them, go against them and crossing the ocean is very tough job. But on the other hand, for devotees, therefore cross the ocean of samsara, which is difficult to cross, by making a boat out of the lotus feet of the Lord, worthy of worship. So instead of swimming, make a boat of service to Lord's lotus feet and situate on the boat. So if you are in the boat, even though there may be hundreds and thousands of crocodiles, they may not do any harm to the person in the boat. They can only harm if a person is in the water. That is understanding. Crossing samsara is difficult for the jnanis and ashtanga yogis. Why? Aplavesha means those not having ability or means to cross, because they may have abilities to cross, but they don't have proper means to cross. So swimming across the ocean is a very tough job. It is not that easy. It's not like a small lake or reservoir. It's the ocean. The root it means to be able to, or the word can mean with the Lord who enables one to cross. That means without taking shelter of Lord or Lord's lotus feet or Lord's bhakti, it is tough to cross the ocean of material existence by their own endeavor. There is great suffering. Why? What is the problem? There is great suffering for those who do not have the means of crossing, because they desire to cross but cannot cross, and the ocean of samsara filled with crocodiles of six senses. They have strong desire to go across, but by swimming it is very tough to go across. Not only that, even if one may want to swim across, but one cannot proceed further because the ocean is filled with, infested with so many crocodiles, especially the six senses and six anarthas, which are continuously driving away the jivatma. If they are not killed by the waves of lust, are devoured by the crocodiles of the six senses, and if they are strong, though tired, and do not give up, after a long time, somehow or other, by using the arms of jnana and vairagya among them, one may with difficulty cross the ocean. So when they will be able to attain liberation, when they will be able to go across the ocean of samsara, when by good fortune, if they are not tossed by the waves of lust, if they are not devoured by the crocodiles of the six senses, and if they are strong enough, if they are not tired, and if they do not give up, and that too after a long time, somehow or other, they reach the other shore of the ocean. So this is how they attain. That's why it is said, Klesha Adhikarastesham. For such kind of jnanis and yogis, they need to put Adhika Klesha, lot of effort, enduring lot of difficulties. They have to work hard. Otherwise, in the devotees, Samayava Sharanam Gacha Sarvabhavena Bharata. Those who take shelter of the Supreme Lord, Lord will take them across. So what Lord says? I will deliver them across the ocean of material existence. Those who take my shelter, I will deliver them. It is my responsibility to deliver them. So that is what Lord kind of assures for those devotees who completely take shelter of Supreme Lord. So there he says that Tesha Maham Samuddartha Mutyu Samsara Sagarat. I will take them across the ocean of material existence for devotees. For non-devotees, they have to work very hard. Etu sarvani karmani mayi sannasya matpara anuneneva yogena mam dhyayanta upasate. Tesha maham samuddartha mutyu samsara sagarat. Bhavami na chirat partha maya vaishita chetsam. Not after a long time, but very soon, I will take them across. So this is the comparison which Lord gives. So in that way, we have to understand. So there are a couple of verses which tells that those who take shelter of Lord's lotus feet, the ocean of material existence, which is very wide, very vast, it becomes like the water in calf's hoof print. So it is very difficult, easy to across, just without even considering it as any water body, one can go across. That will happen to a Bhava Bhakta or Premi Bhakta. For a Premi Bhakta, the material existence is just like as easy as crossing the water in the puddle of a calf hoof print. So like that. Samashritaye padapallava plavam mahatpadam punya yesho murare bhavambudirvasta padam param padam yadvipadam natesham. So Samashritaye padapallava plavam. Those who take shelter of the boat of Lord's lotus feet. Mahatpadam punya mesho murare. So what kind of boat is that? Punya mesho murare. Hearing and discussing and meditating upon the Yasha, the glorious name, form, pastimes, and activities of the Supreme Lord. That is a boat. Bhavambudir Vastapadam. For such people, the Bhavambu, the material ocean becomes Vastapadam. So Govasta, calf fruit. So water which is there in the calf fruit print, that the entire Bhavambudhi becomes like that. Param Padam. Padam Yadviman. Such kind of people never want to stay in this material world. They want to go to Param Padam. And they don't want to stay in the material world because Padam Yadvipadam Natesham. Because in this material world, there is at every step there is a difficulty, there is a misery. Like that. Same, this is the prayer offered by Lord Brahma in the 4th chapter. Similarly, the Devatas are also offering a prayer to Lord Krishna when Lord Krishna is in the womb of Devaki. So next week we are going to have Janmashtami. So these prayers will be discussed elaborately. Tvayambujaksha kila satvadhamni samadhina chesa saike tvatvadapotena mahatkritena guruvanti ko vasta padam bhavabdim. Tvayi ambuja aksha akila satvadhamni samadhina avesh cheseka. Those who continuously meditate upon your lotus feet, which is the center for the entire universe. That lotus feet tatvada potena mahatkritena kurvanti govasta padam bhavabdim. That lotus feet by his wonderful potency makes that bhavabdi, the motion of mental existence, into the water contained within the calf print. So thus, it is very easy to cross and go beyond. So what difficulty is there in this? There should be no fear in getting on the boat. Therefore, get onto the boat. If you get onto the boat, the ocean of existence becomes the what in the calf print. Who would not want to go beyond this and attain Supreme Lord? But all this is possible only when one comes to Bhava platform. When one comes to Bhava platform, then within no time one will come back to Godhead. But to come to Bhava platform, a devotee need to work hard. That no one can say, no, you don't have to work hard, you will automatically come. No, that is not possible. In 2 verses, the 4 Kumaras have given the wonderful glories of Bhakti in comparison to the yatis who are practicing Jnana Yoga and Ashtanga Yoga. So like that. Able to follow?
Yes. Prabhuji, my question is, this Chatus Kumar, actually, here they are teaching very nicely this Bhakti Yoga. But is this Chatus Kumar after the visiting the Vaikuntha, or this is before the visiting the Vaikuntha place?
Same. The current pastime is happening during the Swayambhu Manvantara. Because
Yes.
Pruthu is one of the descendant of Swayambhu Manu, Uttana Pada, Dhruva, in the teenage only is coming. This entire event happened during Swayambhu Manvantara. And the event that you have in mind, like Kumara going to Vaikuntha and getting the fragrance of the lotus feet, that happened recently in Chakshusha Manvantara.
Yes.
So just before the birth of Hiranyaksha and Hiranyakashipu. See, basically one thing we have to understand. The four Kumaras, by nature, they are devotees of the Lord because they are indicated as the avatar of the Supreme Lord in the first canto. They
Yes.
are also the incarnation of the
Son of
Lord.
Jnana.
Shakti Avash avatar, endowed with Jnana. So basically, they are also devotees. But they are teachers in this world. They are not conditioned jiva. They are teachers.
Okay.
So being the teachers, they were told to teach Jnana Yoga and Ashtanga Yoga. A teacher, in order to teach a subject, he lives with the subject. And apne acharati prabhu sabashikayala. If a teacher, especially in relation to Adhyatmika Vidya, one cannot teach without practicing oneself. One should practice oneself, then only one can teach.
Yes, yes.
So, in order to teach Jnana Yoga and Ashtanga Yoga, they are continuously immersed in the practice of Jnana Yoga, Ashtanga Yoga. So, thus being immersed in Jnana Yoga and Ashtanga Yoga, sometimes they are illusioned or they may mistaken or something like that. They end up saying, oh, Jnana Yoga is superior, Jnana Yoga is best, something like that. So, when they start saying that, Lord gives them a glimpse of Bhakti Yoga. Then they come back to normal mode. Yes, Bhakti Yoga is superior, but anyway, we have to teach Jnana Yoga, Ashtanga Yoga, they will teach. So बीच बीच में ऐसा भगवान का इच्छा के अनुसार ऐसा हो जाते हैं ताकि फास्ट टाइम एटलीस्ट न जय विजय का फास्ट टाइम it is the Supreme Lord orchestrated, it is the Supreme Lord made the four Kumaras think that Jnana is superior to Bhakti. But being instructed by Brahma and Narada, they came to Vaikuntha, they saw the Lord. This is all an orchestrated pastime being desired by Supreme Lord so that Jaya Vijay will come down in 3 lifetimes and he can have all wonderful pastimes. He can appear as different avatars, not one to any. How many avatars? He came as Varaha, Narasimha, Kurma, Parashurama, Rama, Krishna, and in between Vyasa.
Mohini, Rupi, there are so many. Turning pastime, there are so
Mohini,
many
Vamana,
avatars. So many
those,
avatars.
because of that pastime only, all these pastimes are happening afterwards. That is Lord's desire. So at the heart, they are devotees, but they were given the responsibility to teach Jnana Yoga, Ashtanga Yoga, because they need to do their service. That is also devotional service for the Lord.
So my question is, Prabhuji, is if this is the condition of this our great Acharya like this Chatus Kumar, so this devotee should also not preach sometimes this Devi Purana and this means lower Purana is in the they should not read also, or they should speak also this type of the Purana which are in a mode of ignorance, mode of passion type of this.
See, that's what I'm saying now. We have, see, here, how many types of people we have been discussing?
Yeah,
people are there. You cannot say everyone should be like Ananya Bhaktas. There are some Jnana Mishra Bhaktas, there are some Bhakti Mishra Jnanis, there are some Karma Mishra Bhaktas, some of them are Bhakti Mishra Karmis, and some are Kevala Bhaktis. So what you are saying is applicable to Kevala Bhaktas. So Kevala Bhaktas do not look here and there. They are not at all interested in any other things. But the Jnana Mishra Bhaktas are interested in reading so many other books also, so many other things also. They have inclination to learn so many things.
Okay.
And Karma Mishra Bhaktas have inclination. मुझे ये भी चाहिए वो भी चाहिए.
थोड़ा कर्मकांड भी आ जाएंगे.
They need job in bark. They need apartments. Something like that.
Yes.
Ananya Bhaktas are like Gosamis. They give up everything and go and live in the forest.
Okay, thank you. Thank you, Prabhuji. एक last question out of context. Sir, Prabhuji, this Hiranyaks and Hiranyakashipu की जो sister थी, Holika and sometimes called Simika. So how she is considered as a sister of Hiranyakashipu and Hiranyaks? Is any reference there somewhere? Because one children asking me this question 2 times. I am not able to give answer.
No, why not? Could have been. Why not?
Yeah. Haribo?
Simika is their daughter. Holika is their sister, I suppose.
क्योंकि they are telling a Simika and is the wife of this Biprachiti and their child are these two this what is it, Rahu and Ketu.
Yes, that's what I'm saying. Simika is his daughter. Hiranyakashipu
Acha.
had 5 children, 4
Acha.
sons and 1 daughter.
Acha, that is
Alada, Anulada, Samlada, then Pralada, and he also had 1 sister, that is Simika.
so
1
their
daughter.
sister. So their sister is also means they are not cousin sister type, not their own sister.
No, own sister.
तो आवाज नहीं आ रहा.
Pralada's own sister is Simika.
Okay.
Hmm.
Holika is his sister.
No,
Hiranyakashipu
Holika is Hiranyakashipu's sister.
Yeah.
Simika is Pralada's sister.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah. Both are different.
Okay.
And Simika's children are Rahu, Ketu, and all these people. And Holika's children we don't know, but she died.
Yes. Okay. Thank you, bro.
Correct. Any other devotees have any question based on these 4 verses? So, having spoken these things, then Kumaras became silent. Then Prthu expresses his gratitude to 4 Kumaras. So let us see now. Maitreya Uvacha.
Maitreya Uvacha.
Saevam Brahmaputrena.
Saevam Brahmaputrena.
Kumarenatmamedasa.
Kumarenatmamedasa.
Darchitatma gati samyak.
Darsitatma gati samyak.
Prasasyo vacha tamrupa.
Prasasyo bachatam nripa. Translation. The great sage Maitreya continued. Being thus enlightened in complete spiritual knowledge by the son of Brahma, one of the Kumaras who was complete in spiritual knowledge, the king worshipped them in the following words.
Maitreya responds, continuing the story. Prthu, having been thoroughly shown all about the Atmagati, by Sant Kumara, the son of Brahma, who was well versed in knowledge of the Lord, spoke in order to praise him. Prashasya Uvacha. Atma Medasa means by one who knows about Atma. Basically, among the 4 Kumaras, Sanat Kumara was responding till now on behalf of the 4 Kumaras. He spoke elaborately about all these aspects: Jnana Mishra Bhakti, Bhakti Mishra Jnana, and then Ananya Bhakti, etc. Other things also. In between, he also gave a hint of Karma Mishra Bhakti, Bhakti Mishra Karma also. But however it is, now Prthu Maharaj is expressing his gratitude to the 4 Kumaras, taking Sanat Kumara the lead. Rajo Vacha.
Rajo Uvacha.
Prthu me anugraha purvam.
Prthu me anugraha purvam.
Hari nartanukampina.
Hari nartanukampina.
Tam apadayitum brahman.
Tam apadayitum brahman.
Bhagavan yuyamagata.
Bhagavan yuyamagataha. Translation. The king said, O Brahmana, O powerful one, formerly Lord Vishnu showed me his causeless mercy, indicating that you would come to my house, and to confirm that blessing, you have all come.
So Prthu is saying that previously the Lord, compassionate to the distressed, was merciful to me. O Brahmana, O Lord, you have come to fulfill that mercy. So when Lord asked me, what benediction you want? I said that, my dear Lord, I want to have the association of wonderful devotees. I want to have thousands of years so that I can get to hear from the thousands of devotees. And by Lord is merciful now. By His mercy, all of you have come to us. Like that is saying. King Prthu addressed Sant Kumara since he is the head of the four Kumaras. He addressed them all with you in plural. So in that way. So as a result of Lord's mercy, four of you have come to me and enlightened me with this spiritual knowledge. Like that is saying. Nishpaditascha Krishne Karshnena.
Nishpadita. Yes, Mataji, continue.
Yeah, thank you, Prabhuji. Nispaditasu cha karsnena
Bhagavad Gruhan, Bhagavad Grunalubhi,
Bhagavad-bir Grunalubhi
Sadhu Sadhuchistam Hime Sarvam,
Sadhu Chistam Hime Sarvam
Atmana Sahakim Dade.
Atmanam Sahakim Dade. Translation. My dear Brahmana, you have carried out the order thoroughly because you are also compassionate as the Lord. It is my duty, therefore, to offer you something, but all I possess are but remnants of food taken by great saintly persons. What shall I give? Hare Krishna.
Everything here comes from the merciful devotee. How can I give anything I possess, since it is all remnants of sadhus, including my body? He is telling that if I have to pay some Guru Dakshana to people like you, I should pay something which is original, which is pure, which is uncontaminated. Then he says that everything that I possess, it does not belongs to me. It is simply the remnants of the sadhus, including my body. Because my body is also produced by sadhus. In the next verse, he makes it clear. Let us see what it is. I do not see anything to give you as Guru Dakshana. This kingdom was given to me by the devotees such as you and Bhrigu out of mercy. How can I give it back? So basically, there are two instances. First of all these great sages headed by Bhrigu, Atri, etc. They have churned the dead body of Vena and produced Prthu, and they made Prthu as the king. That means it is the sages who produced Prthu, it is the sages who made Prthu as the king. It is the sages who gave the kingdom to Prthu to take care of. That means the kingdom actually belongs to the sages. That is one thing. And second thing, even when I performed that 100 Agashwamedha yajnas, at the end of the yajnas, I have given everything that I possessed to these sages who conducted all 100 yajnas. After that, they said, oh, my dear king, what we can do with all this kingdom as Guru Dakshana? Please, you only keep with you and maintain it. Then he said, no, it is not mine, it is yours. You do whatever you want. They said, no, that's what we are saying, that we are instructing you, take care of our property. So this is our property. Yes, we accept the charity, but you please take care of our property. So like that, he says that whatever I possess is all the wealth that has been given by the sages. It all belongs to the sages only. Nothing has been mine. Then he calls it a sadhu uchishtam, remnants from the devotees. It is inappropriate to give back to the father the same betel nut which my father chewed and gave me. A small kid who does not have teeth properly, the father might chew some food and put in the mouth of the child. And child, again, he should not put the juta again in the mouth of father. That is not appropriate. So like that. So some sages have given me this kingdom, and if I give that kingdom to you, some other sages, it is not at all appropriate. So like that is like. Pranadara Sutta Brahman.
Pranadara Sutta Brahman
Grihascha Sa Parichada.
Grihascha Sa Paridasya
Rajyam balam mahikosha
Rajyam balam mahikosa
iti sarvam niveditam.
iti sarvam niveditam. Translation. The king continued, therefore, my dear Brahmana, my life, wife, children, home, furnitures, and household paraphernalia, my kingdom, strength, land, and especially my treasury are all offered unto you.
Oh Brahmana, I offer everything, the life heirs, wives, sons, houses, furniture, kingdom, strength, and the earth and the treasury unto you. How did the devotee remain independent of the kingdom? After the harsh sacrifice, I gave everything such as the life heirs to them. They again gave me their remnants. He says that if I could have had anything, I could have offered, including all this kingdom and all, but the kingdom is not mine, so I cannot offer. So at last, what I can offer is my life heirs, my wife, my sons, houses, furniture, kingdom, strength, the earth, and the treasure. All these things I cannot offer because they don't belong to me. What I can offer is nothing. I don't have anything to offer. Nothing belongs to me only. So I don't have anything to offer. So Indra is telling. Sainapatyam cha rajyam cha
सैनापत्यं च राज्यं च
danda netrutvam cha
दण्डनेतृत्वमेव च
sarvalokaधिपत्यam cha
सर्वलोकाधिपत्यं च
vedashastra vidarhati.
वेदशास्त्र विदर्हति. Since only a person who is completely educated according to the principle of Vedic knowledge deserves to be the commander-in-chief, ruler of the state, the first to chastise, and the proprietor of whole planet, Prithu Maharaj offered everything to the Kumaras. Hare Krishna.
Then he says that the knower of Vedic scriptures should accept to be the head of the army, leader of the country, the punisher and ruler of all planets. So somebody may say that no, you are a king, you should have the kingdom should belong to you. Then he says, no, it cannot be mine. The kingdom should belong to that person who is completely endowed with Vedic knowledge. So the Brahmanas are endowed with Vedic knowledge, the kingdom belongs to them. I am only a representative. So in that way. What result will the Brahmanas get by accepting the armies and kingdom? Let me get the result by giving these things to the Brahmanas. Because the Brahmana is a worthy recipient of charity. He should accept our mercy. He should accept out of mercy. He says that the Brahmanas are the worthy recipients of charity. So I offer everything. So they should be compassionate upon me. By giving charity, there is a hope that I will attain perfection. So that's why I gave everything. Because the kingdom is supposed to be with the Brahmanas. So I gave already. So I don't have anything as of now, right now with me to offer you anything. So like that is telling. Evameva Brahmano Bhunkte, Evame Swameva Brahmano Bhunkte,
Swameva Brahmano Bhunkte
Swamvaste Swam Dadati Cha,
Swamvaste Swam Dadati Cha
Tasaivanugrahe Nanam,
Tasyaivanugrahenannam
Bhunjate Kshatriyadayaha.
Punjate Kshatriyadayaha. The Kshatriyas, Vaishyas, and Sudras eat their food by virtue of the Brahmanas' mercy. It is the Brahmanas who enjoy their own property, clothe themselves with their own property, and give charity with their own property.
So he says that the entire world or the entire universe actually belongs to the Brahmanas. Since the Brahmanas enjoy, wears, and gives, what is. The Kshatriyas, Vaishyas, and Shudras enjoy food by the mercy of the Brahmana alone. What the Kshatriyas, Vaishyas, Shudras are enjoying is nothing but the Juta of the Brahmanas. Actually, this entire universe belongs to the Brahmanas. And though we may express our proprietorship, I am the ruler, I am the king, I am this, I am that, I am the owner. There is nothing but we are simply expressing our Juta. We are only eating the juta of, we are expressing the convership over the juta of the Brahmanas. Everything in reality belongs to the Brahmanas only. So like that. Because the Brahmanas are the real owners of the entire universe, because they are endowed with all the spiritual knowledge. Though the Kshatriyas, Vaishyas, Sudras express their proprietorship over some particular land and area, etc., that actually belongs to the Brahmanas. So originally everything belongs to Supreme Lord, and being the representative of Supreme Lord, the Brahmanas are the owners of the entire universe, and other people are all simply Juta owners. So like that. Then finally says that, then what can I give you? So my dear sages, you are so wonderful personalities. I don't have anything to give you. Whatever I have, it all belongs to the Brahmanas. My body, my mind, my intelligence, my kingdom, my treasure, my family members, everything is gifted by these Brahmanas. Everything belongs to them only. Because even my wife was produced by the same churning. The sages only gave me my wife. So my body does not belong to me. My wife does not belong to me. The kingdom does not belong to me. The children does not belong to me. Nothing belongs to me. So I have nothing to give you. Even I myself does not belong to me. This is being so. It is not possible to repay the Guru even by offering everything. Then Prthu, what Prthu can offer to 4 Kumaras? Now we say this is also important verse there in the exam also. Ye ridrishi bhagavato gatiratmavada.
Yairidrishi Bhagavato Gatiratmavada
Ekantato nigamabhi pratipaditana.
Ekantato Nigamibhi Pratipaditanaha
Tushyantadabra karuna swakritena nityam.
Tushyantadabrakaruna Swakritena Nityam
Ko nama tatpratikaro vinoda patram.
Ko nama Tatpratikaro Vinodapatram. Prthu Maharaj continued, how can such persons who have rendered unlimited service by explaining the path of self-realization in relation to the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and whose explanations are given for our enlightenment with complete conviction and Vedic evidence, be repaid except by folded palms containing water for their satisfaction. Such great personalities can be satisfied only by their own activities, which are distributed among just human society out of their unlimited mercy.
So this is one of the important verse in the Bhagavatam also. What a disciple can offer to one spiritual master. Even if one can give the entire universe, that is nowhere compared to what the Guru deserves. So here Prthu is telling one interesting thing. The truth concerning the Supreme Lord has been completely presented to us by the knowers of the Vedas with deliberation on the Atma. You, 4 Kumaras, having the complete understanding about the Supreme Lord, have delivered the same understanding to all of us. These saints of unlimited mercy should always be satisfied with their acts of uplifting the fallen. We have nothing in our capacity to repay you for what you are doing. Therefore, may you be satisfied with your compassionate service of delivering the conditioned souls. So Prthu is telling what we can offer to these great souls who are always eager to distribute the spiritual knowledge is that giving them an opportunity to deliver the conditioned souls. Because they are only happy, not by wealth, not by facilities, not by treasury, all these things. They are only happy by the opportunity to deliver the conditioned souls. That's why the Prthu is saying that may the saints of unlimited mercy, unlimited compassion should always be satisfied with their acts of uplifting the fallen. Nityam Pakrutena Tushyantu. They should be satisfied with their daily activities. What kind of daily activities? Delivering the fallen conditioned souls. That is the only Guru Dakshina we can offer. Nothing more than that. Therefore, who can repay them for that? Who can do? Who can repay them for what they have done? One can only offer water with folded hands. Just like in the morning, afternoon, evening, we offer Argya to Surya Narayana for what he is doing. Surya is giving us sunlight without any disruption. Till the beginning of the creation, till the end of the creation, he continues giving. We can never repay for what he is giving us. But what we can do, we can simply offer some water 3 times a day, Argya, and request them, may you be satisfied with your selfless compassion. Same way for the great sages also, just we can offer some water at their lotus feet with our folded hands. Nothing more than that we can do. And pray that they should be satisfied with their activities of delivering the fallen conditioned souls. So today is Sunday. Next Sunday is Srila Prabhupada's appearance day. So this could be one of the gift or one of the prayer that we can offer to. We cannot do thing. We can only offer this prayer. May you be satisfied with your wonderful activities, compassionate activities, fallen conditioned souls. That's all. This one prayer we can offer. We can't do anything in return. And then helping in their mission to remain, to make them remain as the deliverers of the conditioned souls. That is what we can do. That's all, nothing else. Atmavade means considering the Atma. Nigamabi means the knowledge of the Vedas. May they be satisfied by their acts of uplifting the suffering, Swakritena. Who can repay them? No one can, except by offering water with folded hands. Vina Udapatram. So there is another meaning for this. If you take the word as Vinodapatram. Therefore, I fold my hands. That's where he completes. The phrase may also be taken as Vinodapatram, the object of joking. A person who tries to repay you, the gurus, is simply the laughing stock of the people. If one says that, no, I repaid my guru, somebody says that is simply laughing stock. No one can repay what guru has done for the disciple. So, like that. Such a person becomes Vinodapatra, a joker. That is the understanding. So in this way, Prthu Maharaj expressed his gratitude to the four Kumaras. Same way in the 10th canto, Lord Krishna tells the gopis that I cannot repay for what you have done. Even though I have told in Bhagavad Gita that ye etamam prapatyante tamstava begamim, I will reciprocate the way you surrender. But that I cannot do with you. The way you have shown your surrender, I cannot reciprocate to that extent. So may you be satisfied with your surrender. So Lord Krishna himself is expresses his inability to reciprocate with such devotee. So there is such is the kind of relationship between the Lord and devotees, one devotee and another. So this is the healthy relationship among the devotees. Hare Krishna, Sanjeevani Mataji, please mute. Okay. Maitreya Uvacha.
Maitreya Uvacha.
Ta Atmayoga Pataya.
Ta Atmayoga Pataya.
Adirajena Pujita.
Adirajena Pujitaha.
Sheelam Tadiyam Samsanta.
Sheelam Tadiyam Samsantaha.
Kebavan Mishatam Runam.
Bhavan Mishatam Nunam. The great sage Maitreya continued, being thus worshipped by Maharaj Prthu, the 4 Kumaras, who were masters of devotional service, became very pleased. Indeed, they appeared in the sky and praised the character of the king, and everyone observed them.
Yeah. The masters of Atma Yoga, after being worshipped by Prthu and praising his character, went to Satyaloka through the sky while the people watched. So they came, they received the reception of Prthu, they heard the questions of Prthu, they answered, they heard the thanks, and then they departed. So like that. K above means they went to Satyaloka by the way of the sky. Vainyastu duryo mahatam
Vainastu duryo mahatam
samsityadhyatmasya shikshaya
samstityadhyatma sikhyaya
aptakamam ivatmanam
aptakamam ivatanam
mena atmani avastitaha.
ena atmani avastitaha. Translation. Amongst great personalities, Maharaja Pruthu was the chief by virtue of his fixed position in relation to spiritual enlightenment. He remained satisfied as one who has achieved all success in spiritual understanding.
Just like in the beginning of the Pruthu section, when Pruthu appeared from the dead body of Vena, the bards, Suta, Magadha, Vandi glorified his wonderful activities and qualities, the activity that is going to perform in the beginning only. Now, before winding up his pastimes, his glories are narrated by Maitreya Rishi. All wonderful activities and qualities of Pruthu are kind of summarized before winding up his pastimes. King Pruthu, chief of the great souls, Mahatam Durya, considered himself almost satisfied by the complete teachings about Atma, but he remained situated in his nature as pure bhakti. Having heard from 4 Kumaras, Pruthu felt that completely satisfied. Though he heard so much about Jnana, but he remained situated in bhakti. He considered himself as if fully satisfied by the complete limits of teachings on Atma. However, he was not fully satisfied since he was a pure devotee. He could be fully satisfied only by pure bhakti. Of course, he heard about pure bhakti also, but little. He wanted to hear more and more about pure bhakti. But in any case, because great souls such as Kumaras came, he was completely satisfied. He had previously asked about Atma, just as he had asked about the other scriptures from notes of the Vedas. That inquiry was now complete. The word Iva indicates that now that part was complete, he was still situated in his own nature. By the teachings about Atma, his nature as pure bhakti did not disappear. Even though he heard so much about Atma, because he heard the question of, he asked the question about Atma, so he heard about it. The 4 Kumaras spoke about it because they are expert in that knowledge. But however, his heart is continuously remaining on pure bhakti only. His heart is never deviated from pure bhakti. So that is understanding. So with that pure bhakti, that complete, he performed all the kingly activities that are necessary. Even though they are not meant for him to do, because he's already at the topmost level in the form of bhakta, pure bhakta. But still, since he is the king of the world, as a king, whatever he's supposed to do, he is to do all those things. Just as a matter of duty, not with the interest of enjoying the fruit or to get the glory that he is a wonderful king, to hear by the people that he is a wonderful king like that. Because he's a king, he need to do his kingly duties. He simply needs to do being indifferent to all those duties. Because his heart is completely absorbed in the lotus feet of Supreme Lord. That is explained in the 20th verse. Karmani chayata kalam
कर्माणि च यथा कालम्
yata desham yata balam
यथा देशं यथा बलम्
yatochitam yata vittam
यथा चितं यथा वीतम्
akarot brahma sakritam.
akarot brahma satkritam. Translation. Being self-satisfied, Maharaj Prthu executed his duties as freely as possible according to the time and his situation, strength and financial position. His only aim in all his activities was to satisfy the absolute truth. In this way, he duly acted.
He also, besides bhakti, performed prescribed varnashrama duties according to time, place, qualified person, and wealth as suitable to his bhakti, thinking that brahmanas were doing the actions. So one simple, as a king, he was taking care of by administering the punishments and all. When somebody makes a mistake, he would administer punishment. But more than that, the king's duty is to perform yajna continuously. While performing yajna, he would never think that I'm doing the yajna. He would always think that these brahmanas are doing the yajna. They have simply kept me here as a representative, but the brahmanas are actually doing the yajna because the kingdom originally belongs to brahmanas. The taking care of the responsibility to take care of the kingdom belongs to the brahmanas, and the brahmanas are doing the yajna for the prosperity of the entire kingdom. It is all they are doing. I am simply a representative. I am made to sit here. That's why I am sitting here. Like that, he would always think. So that's how he would perform the yajnas. He would do all the yajnas. The word cha indicates that he also did karmas, prescribed duties. What kind of prescribed duties he did? For the pure devotees like King Prthu, though they are above doing karmas to teach the people or to avoid lapses in following the rules of Varnashrama or to avoid criticism of the path of bhakti or to hide pure bhakti because it is confidential, the householders without being attached, following various previous conduct either personally or by agents, can do a few karmas without being contaminated. So four reasons are given. One is to teach people, they perform Varnashrama duties. To avoid lapses in following the rules of Varnashrama, because there are compulsory karmas of compulsory activities of Varnashrama, they should be followed. Even though one may be devotee, one should be following some of the compulsory duties. So there should be any lapse in that. So one is doing, further they are doing. To avoid the criticism of Pata Bhakti. So the people may say that ये लोग ब्राह्मण भक्त बन गए अब सब कुछ भूल गए सब कुछ बंद किया कुछ नहीं कर रहे क्या so वो पागल हो गए like that. People should not say. That's why they do some varnashrama duties and to hide the pure bhakti because it is confidential. To keep the confidential nature of bhakti, they would perform the household duties or varnashrama duties. For these four reasons, Prthu still performed some of the important duties of the Varnashrama because he's the householder, he's the king. So there are kingly duties, there are some household duties. All those things he would perform, but not every duty. He would perform those duties which are compulsory, which are useful, which are time specific. Those duties he would do. That's why it is said, Yata kalam, yata desham, yata balam. As per the time, if it is supposed to be done at the time, he would do it. Yata desham, if it is good for that particular place, he would do it. And yata balam, if he has the capacity to do it, he would do it. So like that. This is what the followers of the Sampradaya say. What our Acharya say. However, if they have no faith in those karmas, acts done without faith are as good as no acts at all. That means they only performed akarma. The vikarma is one is bound by the sinful reactions. And karma is one is bound by the pious reactions. Akarma is one is not bound by pious or impious reactions. That means they would do activities, but they would never say that I am the doer of the activity. Only when we say that I am the doer of the activities, we are entitled to get the results. After doing activities, when we say that I am not the doer of the activity, we are not held responsible for the results of the activity. So something like that. However, if they have no faith in those karmas, acts done without faith are as good as no acts at all. That means they would do all the kingly activities, outdoor activities, but they would say that It is not by these activities I will go back home back to Godhead. Only by bhakti I will go back home back to Godhead, but I need to perform these activities because I need to do as a matter of duty. Thus, there is no harm if the pure devotees do not do them. That means when a person becomes Ananya Bhakti, pure devotee, if they don't do any karmas, it is not a harm for them. The people may criticize, people may find fault with them because they are not doing anything, that they may say, but for them nothing will happen. But however, in spite of that, in order to set right example, one performs all the duties. And because these karmas are only done according to suitable time, place, and recipient, all karmas are not performed. Unlike the karma yogis, the bhaktas don't perform each and every karma. They only perform some important and unavoidable karmas in order not to create disruption. The karma should be done as suitable, as per the time, place, and circumstances. Because doing karmas are not suitable for pure devotees, being done only to show the public. Their performance of karmas is not actual karma at all. Because for a pure devotee, for an Ananya Bhakta, why he has to spend time so much in doing all the worldly karmas? So not required. That is understanding. But this is not possible for us. We cannot be prematurely acting like this. Who is on that platform, Bhava platform, can do this. But prematurely one cannot do this. So that is understanding. Like the Goswamis who don't have any worldly duties. They don't have to do any worldly duties. They don't even do anything for food also. If somebody gives something, they will eat. Otherwise, no, they will fast. So in that way, that is the example of Ananya Bhakti. One should do them in such a way that it is the Brahmana's action. Here, Prthu used to do that way. Yajna is being performed by the Brahmanas because the kingdom belongs to them. It is their responsibility to maintain the kingdom. So they are doing. He thinks the Brahmanas are performing these karmas, these yajnas. I am not doing. In this way, he is not affected by the performance of karmas. That means he is not bound to the results of those yajnas. So this is the mode that should be followed by all of us. While performing our respective activities, being brahmachari, being grahastha, when we are doing our brahmachari duties and grahastha duties, this mode we should emulate. Nothing belongs to be. I am not doing anything. It is all being done by the brahmanas or our authorities. It all belongs to them. I am simply an instrument. And one should be continuously contemplate upon the Supreme Lord. Tasma sarveshu kaleshu ma manusmara yuddhya. Thus, at every moment, meditating upon the Lord, perform your duties. How to do? Yat karoshi yadashnashi yajjuoshi tadashi tapashiti kaunteya tatukurushva madarpanam. Every activity that we do should be offered to the Lord. When we offer the activity before being started, it is Lord's activity. Now we are doing Lord's activity. The results belongs to the Lord. The reactions belongs to the Lord. Everything belongs to the Lord, whether pious or not pious. So it is Lord's activity. I am simply doing this activity on behalf of the Supreme Lord. Or it is Guru's activity. I am doing this activity on behalf of Guru. That should be the mentality of a devotee or a disciple. It is very difficult. Many times we try to claim whatever is being done by the Lord or being done by the Guru as if we have done, because we want to go get glorification in this world. So that is our problem. So this is actually one important tricky verse, which is also talked about in the 5th canto. When we come to Bharat Maharaj section, also the same concept will be repeated again. Here Prthu's case also it is being indicated. So Prthu is very clear from the very beginning in his mode. He always thinking that I am simply a representative of all these things. Like that he would always behave. Then Maitreya further continues. Some of other good qualities and activities of Prthu are indicated here. Phalam brahmani sanyasya.
Phalam brahmani sanyasya.
Nirvisanga samahitaha.
Nirvisanga samahita.
Karmadhyaksham cha manvana.
कर्मादिक्षं च मन्वना
आत्मानं प्रकृते परम्
आत्मनां प्रकृते परम्
गृहेषु
Translate.
वर्तमानोऽपि
गृहेषु वर्तमानोऽपि
स साम्राज्यश्रियान्वितः
ससाम्राज्यश्रियान्विता
नासज्जतेन्द्रियार्थेषु
नासज्जतेन्द्रियार्थेषु
निरहं अर्कवत्
निरहं मतिर्कवत्. Translation. Maharaj Prthu completely dedicated himself to be an eternal servant of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, transcendental to material nature. Consequently, all the fruits of his activities were dedicated to the Lord, and he always thought of himself as servant of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, who is the proprietor of everything. Maharaj Prthu, who was very opulent due to the prosperity of his entire empire, remained at home as a householder. Since he was never inclined to utilize his opulences for the gratification of his senses, he remained unattached, exactly like the sun, which is unaffected in all circumstances. Hare Krishna.
offering all results to Brahman, being unattached, attentive, recognizing the Antaryami as the controller of Prakriti, being free of false ego, like the sun. He was not contaminated by sense objects, though he remained a householder with kingdom and wealth. That means he is living in this world, but he is completely indifferent to the things of the world. Like the sun is continuing his life. Nirvisangaha means without attachment. Atmana means the Antaryami. He was simply meditating on Bhagavan, and while doing all these activities, not attached to any of the activities. He is simply indifferent to all the worldly activities and worldly pleasures, but doing everything as a matter of duty. So like that, he continued to rule his kingdom. Evamadhyatma yogena
एवमाध्यात्मयोगेन
karmani anusamacharan
कर्माणि अनुसमाचरन्
पुत्रानुत्पादयाम आसा
पुत्रान् उत्पादयाम् आस
पंचाशीयात्मसम्मताम्.
पञ्चाशीत्मसम्मतान्. Being situated in the liberated position of devotional service, Prthu Maharaj not only performed all fruitive activities but also begot 5 sons by his wife Archi. Indeed, all his sons were begotten according to his own desire.
Just like you took care of the kingdom without being attached to the opulences and all other facilities and all, complete took care of the matter of duty, because kingdom actually belongs to the great sages Brahmanas, so I would take care of it very nicely. Same way, without any attachment, he begot 5 children through Archi. Performing his household karmas without attachment, Prthu produced 5 sons in his wife Archi, who were esteemed like him, Atma Sammatam, who are same like him. He performed his karmas without attachment, Adhyatma Yogena, or being situated in Atma, not the body. By that special power of enjoying without attachment, he produced 5 sons. He had no agitation caused by producing sons and no lust related to his wife. So as a matter of duty, he begot 5 children who will take care of the legacy of Swayambhuva Manu, their ancestor. So in that way. So who are these 5 sons? What are their names? Vijitashvam Dhumrakesham
Vijita Swam Dhumrakesam
Haryaksham Dravinamrukam
Aryaksham Dravinam Vrikam
Sarvesham Lokapalanam
Sarvesam Lokapalanam
Dadaraika Pruturgunam.
Dadareka Pruthurgunan. After begetting 5 sons named Vijitaswa, Dhumaraksha, Raksha, Dravina, and Brika, Prithu Maharaj continued to rule the planet. He accepted all the qualities of the deities who govern all other planets.
His 5 sons were named as Vijitashva. So Vijitashva is the same son who chased after Indra and got the horse back. That time he was named as Vijitashva. Dhumrakesha, Haryaksha, Dravina, and Vruka. So Prthu embodied all the qualities of the Devatas. Sarvesham Lokapalam Gunan. Eka Prthu. Prthu alone endowed with the qualities of all the Lokapalas. Ashtadikpalakas and all other Devatas, whatever quality they have, they are there in the. Thus he ruled the entire kingdom. Just as previously at his birth, he was praised by the gods. At all times he was praised. So thus his wonderful qualities and activities are being praised at the end of his episode. Gopitaya Jagasrushte
Thaya Jagat Srishte
Kale Sve Chutatma Kaha
Kale Swe Swa Achyut Atmaka
Mano Vagvrittibis Saumyair
Manovag Vritibi Saumye
Gunais Samranjayan Praja.
Gune Samranjakyam Praja. Since Maharaj Prithu was a perfect devotee of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, he wanted to protect the Lord's creation by pleasing the various citizens according to their various desires. Therefore, Prithu Maharaj used to please them in all respect by his words, mentality, works, and gentle behavior.
Always thinking of the Lord, Achyuta Atmakaha, in order to protect the created universe, Gopitaya Jagasrishte, according to time, he pleased the citizens by his activities, attractive qualities, words, and mind. He was always thinking about the Lord, and since the universe is created by Supreme Lord, it belongs to the Brahmanas and devotees. So Prithu took care of this kingdom very nicely because it is Lord's desire, it is Lord's service. So like that. Rajeti yadan namadeyam
Rajeti Yadanam
Soma Raja iva paraha
Tomaraja Iva Paraha
Suryavad visrujam grunam
Suryavat Visrajan Krihanam Nan
Pratapam scha bhuvo vasu
Tatapam Sacha Vivo Vasu. Maharaj Pruthu became as celebrated a king as Somaraja, the king of the moon. He was also powerful and exacting, such just like the sun god, who distributes heat and light, and at the same time exacts all the planetary waters.
Thus, Prithu took the name king and was like another moon or chief of the gods. Shining like the sun, he extracted wealth and water from the earth and returned it. So in the night he was shining like the moon, the daytime he shining like the sun. Just like sun evaporates water, he would collect the taxes. And just like the sun gives back the collected water in the form of rains, he would give back the taxes in the time of emergency. Thus he took care of the kingdom very nicely. Somaraja means he was like the moon and the chief of the Devatas. Vasu means wealth and water. Raja means he was pleasing as well as king. Durdarshastejasevagni
Durdarshastejase Vagnir
Mahendra iva durjayah
Mahendra iva Durjayah
Titikshaya daritivra daritriva
Titikshaya Daritriva
Jaur iva bhishta donrunam
Jaur Iva Bhistado Nunam. Maharaj Prthu was so strong and powerful that no one could disobey his orders, and any more than one could conquer fire itself. He was so strong that he was compared to Indra, the king of heaven, whose power is insuperable. On the other hand, Maharaj Prthu was also as tolerant as the earth, and in fulfilling various desires of human society, he was like heaven itself.
Like Agni, he had unconquerable influence, and like Indra, unconquerable strength. He had tolerance like Mother Earth and gave desirable to men like the Swarga. So his qualities are compared to the qualities of different devatas. So in that way. Varashati smayata kamam
Bharasati sma yata kamam
parjanya iva tarpayan
Parjanyaiva tarpayan Samudraiva durbodha
Satve nachala
Satvena chalaradiva. Translation. Just as rainfall satisfies everyone's desire, Maharaj Prthu used to satisfy everyone. He was like the sea in that no one could understand his depths, and he was like Meru, the king of hills, in the fixity of his purpose. Hare Krishna.
Like Parjanya, rain god, he showered whatever was desired. Like the ocean, he was unfathomable. He was steady like the Sumeru. Satvena means by steadiness. What is Meru? Dharmaradiva shikshayam
धर्मरारदव्य शिक्षायाम्
आश्चर्ये हिमवानिवा
आश्चर्ये हिमवान् इव
कुबेरा इव कोशाद्यो
कुबेरा इव कोशाद्
गुप्तार्तो वरुणो यथा
गुप्तार्तो वरुणो यथा. Maharaj Prithu's intelligence and education were exactly like that of Yamaraja, the superintendent of death. His opulence was comparable to the Himalaya mountains, where all valuable jewels and metals are stocked. He possessed great riches like Kuvera, the treasure of heavenly planets, and no one could reveal his secrets, for they were all like the demigod Varunas. Hare Krishna.
He was like Yamaraja in applying punishment and like the Himalayas in astonishing everyone. He was like Kuvera in wealth. He was like Varuna in hiding things. So other attributes of Prithu compared to different devatas. Matarishveva Sarvatma
Matareshwara Sarvatma
Balena Mahasaujasa
Alena Mahasaujasa
Avishaya Tataya Devo
Avishayat Tata Yataya Devo
Bhagavan Bhutaradiva.
Bhagavan Bhutaradiva. Translation. in his bodily strength and in the strength of his senses. Maharaj Prthu was as strong as the wind, which can go anywhere and everywhere. As far as his tolerance was concerned, he was just like all powerful Rudra expansion of Lord Shiva or Sadashiva. Hare Krishna.
He was like Matarishwa, Vayu, pervading everywhere with his bodily, mental, and sensual strength. He was intolerant like Lord Shiva. Kandarpaiva Saundarye
Kandarpaiva
Kandarpaiva
Manasvi Mrugaradiva
Manasvi Mrugaradiva
Vasalye Manvanrunam
Vatsale Manuvan Runam
Prabhutve Bhagavanaja.
Prabhutte Bhagavanajam. Translation. In his bodily beauty, he was just like Cupid, and in his thoughtfulness, he was like a lion. In his affection, he was just like Swayambhu Manu, and in his ability to control, he was like Lord Brahma.
He was beautiful like Cupid and fearless like a lion. He was affectionate like Manu and powerful like Brahma. So, in that way. Brahaspatir Brahmavade
Brahaspati Brahmavade
Atmavatve Swayam Marihi
Atmavatve Swayam Harihi
Bhaktya Go Guru Vipreshu
Bhaktya Go Guru Vipreshu
Vishwaksenanuvartishu
Vishwaksenanuvartishu
Priyaparasya Shilabhyam
Hriya Prasraya Silabhyam
Atmatulya Parodhyame.
Atmatulyaha Parodhyame. In his personal behavior, Prthu Maharaj exhibited all good qualities, and in spiritual knowledge, he was exactly like Brahaspati. In self-control, he was like the Supreme Personality of Godhead himself. As far as his devotional service was concerned, he was a great follower of devotees who were attached to cow protection and the rendering of all services to the spiritual master and the Brahmanas. He was perfect in his shyness and in his gentle behavior. And when he engaged in some philanthropic activities, he worked as if he were working for his own personal self.
He was knowledgeable of Brahman like Brahaspati. So Brahaspati is like knowledgeable of Brahman, Brahmavadi. So same way. And in control of his senses, he is like Vishnu himself. Atmavatve Swayam Harihi. In his devotion to cows, elders, Brahmanas, and devotees, Bhaktya Go Guru Vipreshu Vishwaksena Anuvartishu. So Vishwaksena Anuvartishu means devotees. So in his devotion to cows, elders, Brahmanas, and devotees, and helping others, para udyame, with bashfulness, humility, and cheerfulness, he was like Prthu, Atmatulya. There is no one equal to him in expressing his devotion to cows, elders, Brahmanas, and devotees. वो अपने आप को इक्वल है, उनका जैसा कोई है ही नहीं, इसलिए किसी के साथ कंपेयर नहीं किया. Atmavatve means in controlling the senses. There was no equal to him in devotion and helping others. So in that way. Bhaktya Goguru Vipreshu Vishwaksenanu Vartishu Kriya Prashraya Silabhyam Atmatulyam. So like this, all the wonderful qualities of Pruthu are kind of summarized. And this is the last verse of this chapter. Kirtayordva Gitaya. Sorry. Kirtyorddva Gitaya Pumbes. Gita. कीर्तोर्ध्वगीतया पुंबेस्
प्रीतयोर्दुवागीताया पुंभिस्
त्रैलोक्ये तत्र तत्रः
तैलोक्ये तत्र तत्रः
प्रविष्टा कर्मरन्ध्रेषु
प्रविष्टा कर्णरन्ध्रेषु
स्त्रीणां रामः सतामिव.
स्त्रीणां रामः सतामिव. Translation. Throughout the whole universe, in the higher, lower, and middle planetary system, Prthu Maharaj's reputation was loudly declared, and all ladies and saintly persons heard his glories, which were as sweet as the glories of the Lord Ramchandra.
His fame, declared loudly by the public, through the three worlds, Trilokye Tatatraha, entered the ears of women, just as Rama's fame entered the ears of devotees. So basically, his glories are sung all over the universe. Everyone heard his glories. Of course, men anyway roam around, they anyway hear, but even women also heard, means everyone heard. So like that, just like Lord Rama's glories are spread everywhere, King Pruthu's glories are also spread everywhere. That's why in the first canto, Acharya said that among all the avatars, the different avatars exhibit one of the six opulences popularly, prominently. Only Lord Krishna exhibits all the six opulences completely in full. So like that, Lord Rama and Pruthu, they are the examples. Yasha, Yasha, Lord Rama, King Pruthu, he is also, Dhanvantari is also famous. So these three are known for their fame. So in this way, the wonderful character are summarized at the end by Maitreya. So thus the 27th chapter is over. Then one more chapter is there, that is King Pruthu and Archie going back home back to Godhead. So before starting that, any questions till now? Hare Krishna. Devotees have any questions? Hare Krishna, no question. Devotees are able to hear me or not?
Yes, Prabhu, it is audible.
Yes, Prabhuji, audible too.
In between the voice goes.
Okay, that internet issue. So in any case, so like that, Pruthu's appearance, his wonderful activities, his performance of yajna, having darshan of the Lord, his rule, mercy received by four Kumaras, everything has been indicated, and then summarily his rule is explained. Now Pruthu's going back to Godhead will be described in the last chapter. So 23rd chapter, this is last chapter of the Pruthu section. In the 23rd chapter, King Pruthu goes to the forest, practices austerities as a Vanaprastha, worship the Lord, and giving up the abode of the humans, goes along with his wife Archie to Vaikuntha, the abode of the Supreme Lord. He is going back to God, it will be narrated in the last chapter. About 39 verses are there. So initially, he makes his son as the next king, Vijitasva. Then he goes to forest along with his wife and performs severe Vanaprastha duties. So let us see why and how. Maitreya Uvacha.
Maitreya Uvacha.
Drishtvatmanam pravayasham.
Drishtvatmanam pravayasam.
ekada vainyatmavan
एकदा वैन्यात्मवान्
atmana vardita shesha
आत्मना वर्धिता शेष
swanusarga prajapatiः
स्वानुसर्ग प्रजापति
जगतस्तुतश्चापि
जगतस्तष्ठुषश्चापि
वृत्तिदो धर्मभृत्सताम्
वृत्तिदो धर्मवृत्सताम्
निष्पादितेश्वरादेशो
निष्पादितेश्वरादेशो
यदर्थम् इह जज्निवान्
यद् अर्थम् इह जज्ञिवान्
आत्मजेषु आत्मजन्यस्य
आत्मजेषु आत्मजं न्वेष्य
विरहात् रुदतीमिव
विरहात् रुदतिम् इव
प्रजासु विमनस्वेका
प्रजासु विमानस्वेक
सदा रोगात् तपोवनम्
सदारोगतपोवनम्. Translation. At the last stage of his life, when Maharaj Prthu saw himself getting old, that great soul who was king of the world divided whatever opulence he had accumulated amongst all kinds of living entities, moving and non-moving. He arranged pensions for everyone according to religious principle, and after executing the orders of the Supreme Personality of Godhead in completely coordination with him, he dedicated his sons unto the earth, which was considered to be his daughter. Then Maharaj Prthu left the presence of his citizens, who were almost lamenting and crying from feeling separation from the king, and went to the forest alone with his wife to perform austerities.
So basically, Prthu's accepting Vanaprastha order and going to forest to perform Vanaprastha austerities is explained now. Maitreya is narrating. Once, seeing his body age, King Prthu, the protector of the people, maintainer of all moving and non-moving entities, who was in control of his mind, who had by himself increased the wealth of the state, and who was the upholder of dharma for the devotees, after having fulfilled the order of the Lord, having appeared on the earth for that purpose, handed over to his sons the earth, who was lamenting out of separation from him, and went to the forest alone with his wife, while the citizens. So all the wonderful attributes and qualities of Prthu are mentioned. What are the attributes? So he is the protector, he is the maintainer, he is keeping his senses under complete control, and he increased the wealth of the state. Previously, when Vena was there, the entire kingdom was bereft because the pauper, they were stealing, robbing each other, killing each other for the sake of food and wealth and all. But now everyone is prosperous, and no thieves are happening now. And he's the upholder of dharma for the devotees. For those who want to practice sadhana and go back home, he is like dharma. He provided all the facilities for them to practice bhakti. So after having fulfilled the order of the Lord, because Lord himself sent him through the medium of the sages as Shakti Avesh Avatar. He is endowed with the Parama Shakti. He had to show the example of how to rule the kingdom. If at all a king is there, how a king should be. He is such an example. So because it is the order of the Lord, he executed the service of the Lord, and he appeared on the earth for that purpose. And then, after fulfilling all his duties, he made his sons as the king for continuing the legacy. And then, along with his wife, he traveled to the forest. But when he was traveling to the forest, taking on to Vanaprastha order, his 5 children were crying, and the entire citizens are also crying. King Prthu thought, then why Prthu is accepting and Vanaprastha order and going to forest? One interesting thing. This is also very important. To be eager like Prthu. Why? Here you see. King Prthu thought, the Lord will not bring me to his side for service. Basically, Lord will not take me to spiritual world because I have not done much worship and have not been fully purified. I have been engaged in kingly activities from the beginning till now. I have not performed sufficient bhakti. I have not purified my heart. So there is a very less chance that Lord will take me to spiritual world. Taking Vanaprastha, going to the forest and engaging in chanting and remembering the Lord 24 hours a day, like our ancestor Dhruva. I will perform austerities to attain the Lord quickly. I will make Vanaprastha ashrama famous with the people. So basically says that, so as a Grahastha, I could not practice bhakti properly so much. I was busy with doing daily activities and all. My ancestor Dhruva also went to Badrikashram, performed Vanaprastha duties. Vimana came to take him to Vaikuntha. So I want to follow in his footsteps. So till now I was busy with so many worldly activities. Now I'll go to forest and practice bhakti 24/7 without any other distractions. Out of humility, he was thinking like that. And this should be our desire. Like currently, I have so many other responsibilities, I'm not able to practice bhakti. So I want to enter into that Vanaprastha kind of situation where I can practice bhakti 24/7 without any distractions here and there. Such kind of eagerness should be there for a sadhaka to come back to Godhead. Otherwise, one will not. Thinking like this, Prthu went to the forest for performing austerities. So, along with his wife. Atmana Varditashesha Swanshu Sargaha means he who by himself increased villages, cities, and food. Atmaja means earth, his daughter. So basically, he or the king created villages, cities, towns here and there. He arranged food for each and every living entity. So he arranged food instantly. He also arranged the food continuously also. So these are wonderful activities that are performed by Prthu. So yeah, having done all these things, Prthu going to Vanaprastha order, following in the footsteps of Dhruva. He is one of his ancestors. Because Dhruva also went back to the abode of Lord Vishnu. He also want to go to the abode of Lord Vishnu as early as possible, though he is going to Vanaprastha order. Because his eagerness is so strong, first of all, he is giving up, he cannot go into forest. Second, after going to forest, whatever could be the topmost austerity one can think of, whatever Shastra prescribe, one can perform austerities to this extent. He would perform that kind of austerity. He would perform strong austerities so that he can go quickly. His eagerness is so much. He would do strong austerities quickly so that he would go back to spiritual world very quickly. So that is his eagerness. Tatrapi adabhya niyamo
तत्रापि अदाभ्यो नियमो
vaika nasasu sammate
वैकानससु समते
arabdha ugra tapasi
आरब्ध उग्र तपसी
yata swavijaye pura.
यथा स्वविजये पुरा. After retiring from family life, Maharaja Prthu strictly followed the regulations of retired life and underwent severe austerities in the forest. He engaged in these activities as seriously as he had formerly engaged in leading the government and conquering everyone.
There in the forest, King Prthu and his wife Archi underwent severe austerities according to the Vanaprastha rules, with unbroken vows, using the same effort with which he previously achieved victory over the earth. Just as King Prthu performed karmas in household life to show karmis how to act, so as a Vanaprastha, he performed austerities to show the Vanaprasthas how to act. He engaged in severe austerities as approved by the Vaikanasas, Vanaprastha scriptures. He was strict in his vows. Adabhya niyama. Adabhya means not deceptive. Comes from the root tha, damba, or to deceive. He did this with the same effort that he conquered the earth. So basically, he was performing the severest of austerities so that he could go back to Godhead quickly. That was this. So what kind of austerities? How did he lead his life in the forest? That is described now. Kandamula falahara.
Andamula falahara.
Shushka parnashana kvachit.
Shushka parnashanah kvachit.
Abhaksha katichit pakshan.
Abhaksha katichit pakshan.
Vayu pakshastataparam.
Vayu bhakshastataparam. In the Tapovan, Maharaj Prthu sometimes ate the trunks and roots of trees, and sometimes he ate fruit and dried leaves. And for some weeks he drank only water. Finally, he lived simply by breathing air.
Just like Dhruva Maharaj was increasing the severity of the austerities, similarly Prthu was also increasing the severity of his austerities. That is mentioned now. Initially, he would eat the roots like radish and fruits. Roots like radish and some fruits fallen from the trees. And some later on, he ate only dry leaves. So in the first month, he might be eating only roots and fruits. Second month, dry leaves. Then third month, he began drinking only water without food. So for several months, he was only eating dry, just water. And then he consumed only air. The next month, he only took air, not even water. So first, roots and fruits, next dry leaves, next water, and next only air. Like Dhruva Maharaj. Gange Panchatapaviro. Sorry. Grange Panchatapaviro.
Grange Panchatapaviro.
Actually, they are wrong. Grishme Panchatapaviro.
Grishme Panchatapaviro.
Varshav Asara Sanmunihi.
Varshas Asarasan Munihi.
Akanta Magnai Shirshi. Shishire.
Akantamagnaha Sisire.
Udake Shandileshayaha.
Udake Standilesayah. Following the principles of forest living and the footsteps of the great sages and munis, Prthu Maharaj accepted 5 kinds of heating processes during the summer season. Exposed himself to torrents of rain in the rainy season, and in the winter stood in water to his neck. He also used it to simply lay down on the floor to sleep.
Grishme Panchatapa Viro. In the Grishma summer season, he placed fires around himself in the 4 directions with the sun burning overhead. So basically, the fire is there in all 5 directions. Above sun, east, west, north, south, fire. So in 5 directions, there is huge fire in the Grishma Prthu. During the monsoon season, he tolerated the torrents of rain. In the rainy season, he would stand in the rains. During the dew season, Shishir Ritu, he stood up in his neck in cold water and slept on the bare earth. So unlike our homes, in the rainy, in the summer, heat, AC, in the winter, heater, not such kind of things are there. In the forest, they don't have anything to shelter. They don't, either they can take rest in the gufa or underneath the tree. But especially during the daytime of the summers, he would keep fire around him and above sun, full fire, full hot. In the winter, in the rainy season, he would be exposed to rains. He would not stay inside the homes, covering himself. No. In the winter season, he would submerge himself into the cold water up till neck throughout the day and night. Such kind of tapasya he used to do. And he would sleep on the bare earth always. No cushion, no soft cushion and all, no bedding, etc. etc. Panchatapta means he placed 4 fires around himself by the sun shone overhead. And the 5 direction there is tapa. Asarasat means he tolerated the rain showers. Standile means, Standile Shaya means sleeping on the bare floor, bare earth, without any cushion, etc. etc. So this is how he performed severe austerities. One thing is to live in the forest, second thing is in the summer putting fire and also staying in the hot sun. In the winter, submerging oneself in the cold water. In the rain season, standing outside under the rains. So that is tapasya. Though his purpose was to show to the people the Vanaprastha life, what was his intention in performing such severe austerities? वानप्रस्थ दिखाने तो दिखा दो ना, धीरे धीरे दिखाओ ना, इतना स्ट्रांग क्यों? समर में फायर क्यों रखने का, विंटर में पानी के अंदर क्यों डूबने का क्यों, और रेन में रेन के नीचे क्यों रखने का, पेड़ के नीचे रहो ना, ऐसा बोल सकते हो. बट व्हाई इज डूइंग सच ए सीवियर ऑस्टेरिटीज? तितिक्षुर्यत वाग्धांत
तितिक्षुर्यत वाग्दंत
ऊर्ध्वरेता जितानिलः
ऊर्ध्वरेता जितानिला
आरिरादयिषु कृष्णम्
आरिरादायिषु कृष्णम्
अचरत् तप उत्तमम्
अचरत् तप उत्तमम्. Translation: Maharaj Prthu underwent all these severe austerities in order to control his words and his sense, to refrain from discharging his semen, and to control the life air within his body. All this he did for the satisfaction of Krishna. He had no other purpose.
Being tolerant, controlling his words and senses, controlling sexual impulse and his life airs, his only desire being to worship Krishna, he performed the highest austerities. He did not perform ordinary austerities. He performed Tapa Uttamam, the topmost austerities, for the pleasure of Lord Krishna. Desiring to worship Lord Krishna directly in the spiritual world, I will do these austerities. This was his vow. His intention is to go to spiritual world and serve the Lord in person. That's why he's doing all these things. It is also seen that perfect Ragatmika Bhakta such as Vishaka and other gopis performed austerities to attain Lord Krishna according to Vamana Purana and other Shrutis. The Shrutis say that even devotees like Vishaka and other devotees also performed such kind of severe austerities to attain that position, the closeness to Lord Krishna. So that is the understanding. He was so eager to go back to God very quickly, he was performing the topmost austerities. In that way. Tena karmanu siddhena
तेन क्रमानुसिद्धेन
ध्वस्त कर्मामलाशयः
ध्वस्त कर्मामलाशयः
प्राणायामै सन्निरुद्ध
प्राणायामै संवृद्ध
षड्वर्गश्चिन्न बन्धन
षड्वर्गश्छिन्नबन्धनः. By thus practicing severe austerities, Maharaj Prthu gradually became steadfast in spiritual life and completely free of all desires for fruitive activities. He also practiced breathing exercises to control his mind and senses. And by such control, he became completely free from all desires for fruitive activities.
By gradual perfection of austerities, he destroyed karma, developed a joyful heart, controlled the mind and senses by pranayama, and cut his bondage to the material world. By his sincerity, by his hardships, by his whatever, he became joyful. His karmas are completely purified. Of course, he does not have any karmas, but they are all purified. And he has cut the bondage to material world. That means he does not have any inclination to the material world or to the material enjoyments. By gradually perfecting that austerity, his mind became joyful. He destroyed his karmas. Previously, he had already accomplished this by controlling the breath through repeating mantras concerning the Lord as part of Bhakti Marga. They already done, but still he is again doing. So as a result of that, he was completely pure, became pure. So in that way. Sanat Kumaro Bhagavan.
Sanat Kumaro Bhagavan
Yadyadhyatmikam param.
Yad Adhyatmikam Param
Yogam tenaiva purusham.
Yogam Tenaiva Purusham
Abhajat Purusharshabha.
Abhajat Purusarvasabha. Thus, the best amongst human beings, Maharaj Prthu, followed that path of spiritual advancement which was advised by Sanat Kumar. That is to say, he worshipped the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Krishna.
Because Sanat Kumara told Bhaja Vasudeva, meditate upon Vasudeva, he is meditating on Vasudeva, as told by Sanat Kumara. The best of men worshipped the Supreme Lord. The best of men, King Prthu, worshipped the Supreme Lord by the highest process called Adhyatma Yoga or Bhakti Yoga, which Sanat Kumara had taught. So, whatever Bhakti Yoga Sanat Kumara taught, therefore worship the Supreme Lord. They meditate on the Lord's lotus feet. Following that, he continuously engaged in Lord's service. Adhyatmika means engaged in the self. This yoga concerning the self is final. Adhyatmika yoga in this verse refers to Bhakti yoga. So that Adhyatmika yoga with Aha Adhyatmikam Param, the topmost Adhyatmika yoga that has been told by Sanat Kumara, it is actually Bhakti yoga because he told Bhaja Vasudevam. Previously in 422, 39 and 40 indicates that Shuddha Bhakti was the highest process. It was not stated anywhere else that Jnana Yoga, also called Adhyatmika Yoga, was the best and final process. So nowhere in the Vedic literatures indicated that Jnana Yoga or Ashtanga Yoga to be the topmost yoga. Like that, nowhere it is mentioned. Only Bhakti Yoga is always mentioned as topmost yoga. Therefore, the word Adhyatmika Yoga indicated in this verse indicates Bhakti Yoga. It is also impossible to worship the Supreme Lord as the primary object in Jnana Yoga. Because Jnana Yoga, their meditation is Brahman. There will also be a contradiction to the next verse if Jnana Yoga, the Adhyatmika Yoga, is considered the highest process. Bhakti Yoga is here called Adhyatmika Yoga to keep it secret. So to keep Bhakti secret, the authors of Bhagavatam used Adhyatmika Yoga instead of telling it as Bhakti Yoga. Even Lord Kapila also calls it as Adhyatmika Yoga. There are three things: Bhakti Yoga, Jnana Yoga. He calls it as Adhyatmika Yoga. So Bhagavatam tries to keep things in a secret way. So some places they hide it and they indicate it different name. So thus he was performing the Bhakti Yoga as it is indicated by Sanat Kumara. So like that. The last verse for today, text number 10. Bhagavad Dharmina Sadho
Bhagavat Dharmina Sadho
Shraddhaya Yataya Sada
Shraddhaya Yatata Sada
Bhaktir Bhagavati Brahmani
Bhaktir Bhagavati Brahmani
Ananya Vishaya Bhavat.
Ananya Visaya Bhavat. Translation. Maharaj Prthu thus engaged completely in devotional service, executing the rules and regulations strictly according to the principles, 24 hours daily. Thus, his love and devotion unto the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Krishna, developed and became unflinching and fixed.
Yeah. Thus constantly and strong faith dedicated to Lord Krishna Vasudeva, King Prthu performed bhakti to the Supreme Lord alone, Ananya Vishaya, Bhagavati Brahmani, without any second thought, performing all the severe austerities such as keeping fire in all four directions during the summer, standing in the rain during the rainy season, submerging in the cold water during the winter season, sleeping on the bare floor throughout the year, Prthu performed the topmost austerities. Tapa param. So just for the pleasure of Lord Krishna, with a desire to go back home and serve him in person. Because that is what his prayer. He told Lord Vishnu, my dear Lord, I want to serve you like Mother Lakshmi. That massaging your feet, fanning you, providing food, providing betel nut and all those things. That personal seva I want to do. For that he was eager to go to Vaikuntha. So like this, his tapasya has been described, and further details of tapasya come back to what described in the remaining part of the chapter, which we will discuss in our next class. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Yes, Prabhuji.
Prabhuji, my question is, okay, in all the incarnation of the Lord Krishna, this incarnation is very unique there because they are worshipping this Lord, and they have performed the austerity to attain the supreme. But in other incarnation, we have not heard they are worshipping. Even Krishna also at that living, they are not means doing like that austerity. Even Lord Krishna, Ram also not done austerity like this to achieve the Lord. So what is the reason here?
There are two things. One is Leela Avatara, other one is Shakti Avesha Avatara. The Shakti Avesha Avatara will never think that they are Lord. They always think that they are a devotee. You take the examples of all Shakti Avesha Avataras, like Narada Muni, four Kumaras, Shesha, Parashurama, Prthu, Buddha, Vyasa. These people are always engaged in doing some sadhana. Any of these people are simply ideally sitting?
No.
They're always doing some sadhana only. So, because they treat themselves as devotees or jivas, so they are practicing all these things seriously and to set an example. On the other hand, Leela avatars like Lord Rama, Lord Krishna, Lord Vamana, we may not see them doing their activities and all, but they are also doing. They are also doing all the worldly activities. When Krishna's pastime, we see that every day morning is sitting and meditating. Lord Rama is worshipping their household deity. Ranganath Swami is their household deity. Lord Rama used to worship the deity every day without fail. So whatever they were supposed to do, they were doing. So if it is required to display all these things, they will do, but not required. So Lord Krishna, he disappeared and Lord Rama disappeared, and he took all the Ayodhyavas along with him. Lord Krishna went and took all the Yadavas and sent them to Swarga, and then he disappeared. So we have to see that Leela Avataras, they do some things, they may not do something, but Shakti Avataras do everything like an ordinary jiva. So that's how we have to understand.
Yes, thank you.
Any other question by any other devotee?
No, Prabhuji.
Okay. Fine. If there are no questions, so thank you very much for joining. Yesterday, all of you had Balram Jayanti. Next Saturday, Janma.